Let me ask you something. How is it that someone earning $45,000 a year can quietly become a millionaire, while someone earning $120,000 is living paycheck to paycheck? Same economy, same country, completely different outcomes. Because the truth is, becoming wealthy has very little to do with how much you earn, and almost everything to do with what you do with what you earn. Right now in the United States, there are millions of millionaires, and most of them didn't get there through viral businesses, lottery wins, or massive salaries. Many were teachers, office workers, engineers, regular people with normal incomes. But they followed a system, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how that system works. Not motivation, not hype, real numbers, real habits, real wealth-building math. Because once you understand this, becoming a millionaire starts feeling less impossible and far more predictable. Now, before we go further, I need you to change one thing in your thinking. If you already believe this can never happen for you, then nothing else in this video will matter. I hear it all the time. I only make $40,000 a year. How am I supposed to become wealthy on this salary? And honestly, I understand. Rent is expensive. Food costs are rising. Gas prices keep climbing. And wealth can feel reserved for someone else. But let me show you something. There's a guy. Let's call him Marcus. Marcus is 27 years old. He works in logistics in Ohio. He earns around $42,000 a year. Nothing flashy, nothing impressive on paper. But over the last 2 years, Marcus managed to save $15,000. Not because he became extreme, not because he stopped enjoying life. He simply became intentional. He meal preps instead of constantly ordering food. He keeps his grocery budget around $60 a week. He drives a used car that's fully paid off. He avoids financing expensive phones, and most importantly, he doesn't spend impulsively. Now compare that to Ashley. Ashley earns $85,000 a year in Atlanta. Great salary, but every month she feels financially stressed. She has a luxury apartment, a car payment, credit card debt, subscriptions, lifestyle upgrades. She earns double Marcus, but has almost nothing left over. So who is actually closer to becoming wealthy? The person building a system or the person funding a lifestyle? Because this is the truth most people miss. Your salary does not make you wealthy. Your habits do. And researchers studying American millionaires found something surprising. Most millionaires didn't earn extraordinary incomes. Most lived below their means. Most built wealth slowly, consistently, over decades. Not flashy, not fast, but effective. So your salary is not your limit. It's your starting point. The real question is, what are you doing with what you earn? Because that answer changes everything. Now, the first real step is understanding your numbers. Not in a complicated spreadsheet-heavy way, just clearly enough to understand where your money is actually going. Because most people don't have an income problem, they have an awareness problem. They don't know how much they spend. They don't know how much they could be saving. And because of that, they never build anything. Now there's something else quietly happening in the background. Inflation. If you were earning $50,000 5 years ago, that same $50,000 today buys far less. Prices rise quietly over time. Which means even if your salary stays the same, you're effectively earning less. That's why earning money alone is no longer enough. You have to manage it intentionally. And this leads to something called your wealth gap. Your wealth gap is the difference between what you earn and what you actually need to live. That gap is everything, because that gap becomes your investments, your future, your freedom, your wealth-building engine. The bigger the gap, the faster you move forward. The smaller the gap, the longer you stay financially stuck. Now, most people make this harder than it needs to be. They obsess over every tiny purchase, every coffee, every small expense, and eventually they burn out. But you only need to focus on the big four. Housing, transportation, food, debt. Those 4 categories usually make up around 70 to 80% of spending. So if you improve those areas, you create space. Let's make this practical. Imagine someone earning $45,000 a year. After taxes, they may take home around $3,000 a month. Now watch how quickly it disappears. $1,200 on rent, $400 on transportation, $500 on food, $300 on debt. That's already $2,400 gone. And we haven't even included subscriptions, random spending, or emergencies. By the end of the month, there's almost nothing left. That's how people stay trapped, not because they don't earn enough, but because there's no wealth gap. So your first goal is simple: create space. Even if it starts small, maybe you save 5%, maybe 10. The amount matters less than the habit, because consistency creates momentum, and momentum builds wealth. Marcus didn't start by investing thousands. He started by creating room, reducing unnecessary spending, being intentional, building gradually. That's the game. Not perfection, progress. Now, once you understand your numbers, your job becomes your next wealth-building tool. Most people see their job as something they tolerate just to survive, pay bills, get through the month, repeat. But if you use your career strategically, your income can accelerate everything. And there are 3 things most people should be doing with their jobs. First, get paid what you're worth. One salary negotiation can dramatically change your financial future. Let's say you earn $50,000 a year, and you negotiate a 10% raise. That's an extra $5,000 annually, or roughly $400 a month. Now imagine investing that extra $400 every month at an average return of 8%. Over 25 years, that single raise could grow into more than $300,000 from one conversation. That's how powerful income growth becomes when paired with investing. But most people wait until performance reviews and struggle to explain their value. So instead, keep proof. Track projects, track achievements, track positive feedback. So when the opportunity comes, you're presenting evidence, not emotion. Now, the second thing you need to maximize is your employer retirement plan. In the US, this is often your 401k. And many employers offer something called a match, meaning if you contribute a percentage of your salary, your employer contributes too. Let's say you earn $50,000. You contribute 5%. That's $2,500. If your employer matches it, that's another $2,500. You just doubled your money immediately. Very few investments offer an instant 100% return, which is why contributing enough to receive the full employer match should almost always be your first priority. Now, the third thing: you cannot stay loyal to a job that is not helping you grow. Data consistently shows that people who strategically switch jobs often increase their income faster than people who stay in one role for too long. Not because they're smarter, but because the market rewards movement. Now, this doesn't mean changing jobs constantly, but if you are underpaid, stagnant, or not developing skills, you need to evaluate your options, because your job is your income engine. And the stronger that engine becomes, the faster wealth building accelerates. Now, once you've created a wealth gap and increased your income, your next step is investing, because saving money alone will not make you wealthy. At some point, your money needs to start working for you. This is your wealth engine. And the first part of that engine is investing consistently. A lot of people delay investing because they think they need a lot of money, they need perfect timing, or they need expert knowledge first. But none of that is true. You just need to begin. Even small amounts matter, because investing is less about size and more about consistency and time. Let's look at the numbers. Imagine investing $300 every month into a simple index fund, tracking the S&P 500. Historically, the market has averaged around 10% annually. But let's use a conservative 8% return. If you invest $300 monthly for 30 years, you end up with roughly $450,000. And here's the important part. Out of that total, you only contributed around $108,000. The remaining $300,000 plus came from compound growth. That's the power of compounding. Now increase that investment to $500 monthly. Same timeline, same average return. Now the portfolio grows to over $700,000, and that's before including your retirement accounts. Because alongside your investments, you may also have a 401k, a Roth IRA, employer contributions, all compounding simultaneously. That's how ordinary salaries eventually build extraordinary wealth. Now, I know 30 years sounds long, but here's what people misunderstand about investing. Growth is not linear. For the first several years, progress feels slow, almost boring, but then the compounding curve begins accelerating. By year 10, growth becomes noticeable. By year 20, it becomes powerful. And by year 30, compounding starts looking explosive. That's why starting early matters more than starting big. Time does most of the heavy lifting. Now, in the United States, two of the most important investment vehicles are your 401k and your Roth IRA. A 401k often provides employer matching and tax advantages. A Roth IRA allows your investments to grow tax-free over the long term. Ideally, you use both. Now, the second part of your wealth engine is increasing your income outside your job, because your job creates stability, but your skills create leverage. You don't need a massive business. You simply need one useful skill people will pay for. Maybe video editing, graphic design, writing, social media management, data analysis. Something practical, something valuable. Now imagine you build a skill that generates an extra $300 monthly. That extra $300 invested consistently could shave years off your wealth-building timeline. Instead of becoming financially independent in 30 years, maybe it happens in 22. That's the power of increasing income while investing simultaneously. Now there's another problem that quietly destroys financial progress: lifestyle inflation. Every time income rises, expenses rise too. Someone gets a raise, then upgrades the apartment, upgrades the car, adds more subscriptions, spends more freely, and suddenly, that raise disappears. Not because they made a terrible decision, but because they made a normal one. That's why high-income earners can still feel financially trapped. They earn more, but spend more. Eventually, this becomes something called the golden handcuffs. Your lifestyle becomes so expensive that you cannot step away from your job, even if you want to. So here's a simple rule. Every time your income increases, split it. Use 50% to improve your life, and invest the other 50%. That way your lifestyle grows, while your future grows too. Now, another critical piece of this is automation. Because willpower is unreliable. You might feel disciplined one week and emotional the next. So instead of relying on motivation, you build systems. The moment your paycheck arrives, money automatically moves into your 401k, your Roth IRA, your investments, before you can spend it. That's how wealth building becomes sustainable. Now there's another factor people underestimate: your environment. The conversations around you shape your financial behavior more than you realize. If everyone around you spends impulsively, that behavior starts feeling normal. If nobody around you invests, investing feels strange. That's why you need intentional financial influences. Books, podcasts, YouTube channels, people who think differently about money, because once your thinking changes, your decisions change, and eventually, your entire trajectory changes. Now, sometimes growth creates discomfort. You may start saying no to things you once said yes to. You may make decisions other people don't understand. That's normal. Growth changes priorities. The key is not cutting people off. It's protecting your direction. Now let's tie everything together. At this point, you understand your numbers. You've created a wealth gap. You're increasing income. You're investing consistently. You're protecting yourself from lifestyle inflation. You're automating your finances, and you're shaping an environment that supports growth. That's no longer random financial behavior. That's a system. And systems create predictable outcomes. Now there's one final ingredient that makes all of this work: patience. Because wealth is rarely built through one huge breakthrough. It's usually built through decades of consistent decisions. There was a man named Ronald Reed. He worked as a janitor and gas station attendant. Nothing about his life looked wealthy, but for decades he invested small amounts consistently into strong companies and left the money alone. No constant trading, no chasing trends, no trying to get rich quickly. Just consistency. When he passed away, he left behind over $8 million. That's the power of long-term investing. Now, this doesn't mean you need to wait forever, because you're combining multiple systems at once. You're negotiating income, investing consistently using tax-advantaged accounts, building extra income streams, controlling lifestyle inflation, automating your finances. Each one speeds up the process. Together, they completely change your financial trajectory. Now imagine your life 5 years from now. You've been consistent, you've been intentional, you've been investing every month, you feel more confident, less financially stressed. 10 years from now, your investments are growing meaningfully. 20 years from now, you're no longer talking about survival. You're talking about options. Freedom. Flexibility, because that's what money really provides when used correctly. Not just possessions, control over your time. Control over your choices. So let me leave you with this. Your salary is not your limit. It's your launch pad. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to do everything at once. You simply need to start. Small, consistent, intentional. Because the people who quietly build wealth are usually not the people waiting for the perfect moment. They are the people who begin and keep going.